The year is 3000, and Dr. Maya Chen is standing at a window on level 847, looking out at something that would terrify most people. The sky outside isn't blue anymore. It's a murky orange color, thick with chemicals and dust that would end a person's life in minutes. But Maya isn't scared. She's been living in this tower her whole life, just like everyone else she knows. This tower, this massive structure of metal and glass, is what's left of New York City. But calling it a city doesn't really capture what it's become. Imagine the tallest building you've ever seen, then multiply that by 100. Now imagine that building has 2,000 floors, stretching so high you can't see the top from the bottom, and diving so deep into the earth that the lower levels sit in darkness heated by the planet's core. This is home for 800 million people. This is the last place on Earth where humans still live. Maya works in a place called the Archives. It's basically a giant library, but instead of books about made-up stories, it holds the real history of humanity. Her job is to organize old files, videos, and records from the time when people lived differently. She's one of the few people who actually knows what the world was like before everything changed. Most people in the megacity have no idea what natural grass feels like. They've never touched real dirt or felt rain on their skin. The rain outside is toxic now, so everyone lives inside, breathing filtered air that gets recycled and cleaned by massive machines. Everything is controlled, everything is measured, everything has its place. The city works like a pyramid, but vertical. At the very top, on levels 1500 to 2000, live the wealthy families. Their ancestors were smart or rich or lucky enough to claim the upper levels when the megacity was first built. Up there, they have artificial sunlight that mimics real daylight. They have gardens growing real plants in special domes. They live the way people lived 1,000 years ago, just with better technology. Maya lives in the middle sections, somewhere around level 847. This is where most people work. Every day she passes by the protein farms where workers grow artificial meat in huge vats. She walks through the water treatment centers where machines clean and recycle every drop of moisture, even from people's breath. She sees the schools where children learn about a world they'll never experience. The middle levels are clean and organized, but there's something missing. There's no wind, no surprise weather, no seasons. Every day feels exactly the same. But the middle levels are paradise compared to what lies below. Deep down, starting around level 200 and going all the way to the bottom, are the industrial zones. That's where the real work happens. Giant machines dig deeper into the earth, mining materials to keep building upward. Geothermal plants convert Earth's heat into energy. And down there, in the hot darkness, live the people that the government barely acknowledges. They call them the forgotten. These are families who've lived in the darkness for generations, working the machines, breathing the hottest air, living the shortest lives. Maya knows all this because it's in the records she studies. But she tries not to think about it too much. What can one person do about a system that's been running for 700 years? She does her job, lives her quiet life, and tries to find meaning in preserving the past. Everything changes on a Tuesday morning. Maya is going through some old files, digitizing records from the year 2847, when she finds something that doesn't make sense. There are encrypted documents labeled Exodus protocols. She's never heard of anything called that, and she's read almost everything in the archives. Her curiosity gets the better of her, and she spends the next 3 days trying to crack the encryption. When she finally opens the files, her hands start shaking. The documents talk about a secret plan from 153 years ago. A group of scientists claimed they found proof that parts of Earth's surface were becoming livable again. They wanted to send expeditions outside the megacity to explore these areas and maybe, just maybe, start new settlements. But according to official history, nothing like this ever happened. The government has always said the entire planet is dead except for this one tower. Maya digs deeper, finding fragments of reports, personal messages, and research data. The scientists weren't crazy. They had real evidence, but then the files just stop. There's no conclusion, no official cancellation of the project, nothing. It's like someone erased the ending of the story. She's so absorbed in her discovery that she doesn't notice the man standing in her office doorway until he clears his throat. His name is James Torres, and he's wearing the dark uniform of the security division. Maya's heart drops. She quickly closes the files, but it's too late. He's already seen what she's looking at. Torres walks slowly into her office. His face is hard to read. He tells her in a flat voice that she needs to stop her investigation immediately. Some things are classified for good reasons. Some questions are dangerous to ask. He says if she continues, she'll be reassigned to the lower levels. Everyone knows what that means. It's not officially a death sentence, but people sent down there rarely come back up. Maya nods, trying to look scared and obedient. Torres turns to leave, but then he does something strange. He places a small data chip on her desk, his finger lingering on it for just a second. Then he walks out without another word. Maya waits until she's sure he's gone. Her hands tremble as she picks up the chip and inserts it into her computer. It contains just one thing: coordinates to level 12, deep in the supposedly abandoned sections near the bottom of the megacity. There's no explanation, no message, nothing but those numbers. That night, Maya can't sleep. She stands at her window, watching the endless lights of the vertical city, millions of lives stacked on top of each other, all of them believing this tower is the only hope for humanity. But what if they're wrong? What if there's something more out there? She makes her decision. Tomorrow she'll start the descent to level 12. Whatever truth is waiting for her down there, she has to know. The journey down through the megacity takes Maya 3 full days, and every hour of it feels intentional. The elevators between levels don't move fast. The government designed them that way on purpose. They don't want people traveling between the upper and lower levels. If you're born on level 1500, you're supposed to stay there. If you're born on level 50, you're supposed to accept that fate. The slow elevators are just one more way to keep people in their place. As Maya descends, she watches the city transform around her. The clean white walls of the middle levels start to look older and more worn. By level 500, she sees rust stains on the metal panels. By level 300, the lights flicker occasionally, and the air gets noticeably warmer. By level 100, she's sweating, and the corridors are dimly lit with a strange bluish glow from bioluminescent panels. These are living lights, bacteria engineered to glow in the darkness, used because they're cheaper than electric lights. Level 12 is nothing like what Maya expected. According to the official maps, this level should be empty except for old machinery and abandoned storage rooms. But when she steps out of the elevator, she finds herself in what looks like a small town. There are people everywhere. Children are playing in the corridors. Women are tending to rows of mushroom farms that glow faintly in the darkness. Men are working on machinery, their voices echoing off the metal walls. This is a real community. Maybe 50,000 people living in a place the upper levels pretend doesn't exist. Maya feels overwhelmed and confused until she sees Torres waiting for her near a large archway. He's not wearing his security uniform anymore. He's dressed in simple work clothes and he's smiling. Torres explains everything as he walks her through the shadow city. He wasn't trying to stop her investigation. He was testing her. The security division has eyes everywhere, and if Maya had talked about the Exodus protocols with the wrong person, she would have disappeared. But she kept quiet and came alone, which means she can be trusted. He takes her to meet someone important. Her name is Elder Sarah Kim, and she's 140 years old, which is ancient even with modern medicine. Sarah lives in a chamber that looks like it's been carved directly from the bedrock that forms the megacity's foundation. The walls are covered with old photographs and maps, things from the world before the towers. Sarah tells Maya the real story, and it's more incredible than anything Maya imagined. Back in 2847, a group of brave scientists made an amazing discovery. They found evidence that Earth was healing itself. Not everywhere and not quickly, but in certain places where humans had never built heavy industries, nature was coming back. Plants were evolving, adapting to the new atmosphere. New ecosystems were forming. The air in these zones was becoming breathable again. The scientists created the Exodus protocols. They wanted to send small teams to these healing zones to study them, and eventually establish new settlements. They believed humanity didn't have to stay trapped in one tower forever. They had hope for a future where people could spread across the planet again. But the government, specifically the Council of Preservation, shut everything down. Sarah explains why with a sad smile. The people who run the megacity have power because resources are limited. They control the food, the water, the air, and the space. If people found out they could survive outside the tower, millions would want to leave. The social order would collapse. The upper levels would lose their privileges. So the council arrested the scientists, erased their research, and made sure everyone believed the outside world was completely uninhabitable. But Sarah's grandmother was one of those scientists, and she didn't give up. Neither did her friends and their children. For over 150 years, they've been working on a secret project in level 12. They've been digging a tunnel through the megacity's foundation, burrowing through hundreds of feet of concrete and bedrock, heading toward the surface. Generation after generation worked on this tunnel, keeping it secret, passing the mission from parents to children. 3 months ago, they finally broke through. They reached the surface, and what they found was unbelievable. The air is breathable. Strange evolved plants are growing. The sky is clear enough to see. 52 people have already left the megacity through the tunnel. They've started a settlement in what used to be called the Adirondack Mountains, though the landscape looks nothing like the old pictures. They're surviving. They're building new lives. Sarah looks at Maya with eyes that have seen too much suffering. She offers Maya a choice. Maya can go back to her comfortable life in the archives, pretend she never saw any of this and live out her days on level 847. Or she can join the next group leaving in 2 weeks. The decision is hers, and Sarah won't judge her either way. But then Sarah adds something else. She needs Maya's help with something crucial before they leave. In the upper levels on level 1847, there's a high-security vault that belongs to the Council. Inside that vault are genetic samples from before the world changed. Seeds from thousands of plant species, DNA samples from animals that went extinct, frozen embryos that could restore biodiversity. The people who left 3 months ago are surviving, but they're struggling. Without genetic diversity, without these samples, any surface settlement will have a hard time becoming truly sustainable. Maya feels the weight of what Sarah is asking. She's not just inviting Maya to escape. She's asking Maya to become part of something bigger, something that could change humanity's future. But getting into that vault means risking everything. If Maya gets caught, she won't just be reassigned to the lower levels. She'll disappear completely. Maya thinks about her life. She spent 15 years studying the past, learning about a time when humans lived freely across an entire planet. She's read countless personal journals from people who watched the world die. She's seen the hope drain from humanity's story, replaced by mere survival. And now, for the first time in 700 years, someone is offering a chance to bring that hope back. She looks at Sarah and nods. She'll do it. She'll help steal the genetic samples from the vault, and then she'll walk through that tunnel to the surface. She'll see the sky with her own eyes, even if it's a strange color. She'll breathe unfiltered air, even if it tastes different. She'll take the risk because some things are worth risking everything for. Sarah smiles, and it's the first genuinely happy smile Maya has seen in her entire life. They begin planning immediately. Maya will need help from inside the system. She'll need someone in the upper levels who can create the right opportunities and distractions. Sarah already has someone in mind. The next day, Maya returns to level 847 and has a careful conversation with her supervisor, Director Liu. They've worked together for 15 years, and Maya has always respected her. Using coded language, referencing obscure historical events that only someone who truly studied the past would understand, Maya tests whether Liu might be sympathetic to their cause. To her amazement, Liu responds with her own coded phrases. Liu isn't just sympathetic. She's been a rememberer for 20 years. She's been working in the archives specifically to identify people like Maya, people who care enough about humanity's future to take action. Liu has been waiting for this moment, hoping someone would find the Exodus protocols and have the courage to ask questions. Together, they create a plan. Once every 1,000 years, the megacity conducts something called the Millennial Census. It's a massive bureaucratic project where every single person and resource gets counted and recorded. The next census begins in 5 days. During the census, security protocols shift. Guards are reassigned to help with population counts. Surveillance systems focus on preventing census fraud rather than watching the vaults. The chaos of 800 million people being processed creates gaps in the system. Maya will use those gaps. On the 3rd day of the census, when attention is most divided, she'll use her archive credentials to access the vault on level 1847. Liu will create a false research request that gives Maya legitimate reason to be in that area. They'll have a 4-hour window to get in, extract the genetic samples, and get out. The plan almost works perfectly. Maya reaches the vault without problems. The genetic samples are stored in cryo containers, each one labeled with species names that make her heart ache. She sees seeds for oak trees, maple trees, roses, wheat varieties that no longer exist. She sees DNA samples for animals she's only seen in pictures: wolves, bears, elephants, whales. She carefully loads everything into a special transport case designed to keep the samples frozen. But as she's leaving, a security AI detects anomalies in her access pattern. Alarms begin to sound. Maya's heart races as she runs toward the elevator, knowing that security teams will arrive in minutes. She's trapped on level 1847, hundreds of levels away from safety, carrying humanity's genetic heritage in a case that's getting heavier with every step. Then the alarms change. A different sound echoes through the corridors. Emergency announcements start playing. Warning of a pressure breach on level 923. It's Torres, monitoring everything from level 12, triggering a false emergency that pulls security resources away from Maya's location. In the confusion, Maya slips into an elevator and begins her descent. The journey back down takes 36 hours of hiding, waiting, and moving through maintenance corridors that Torres guides her through via encrypted messages. By the time Maya reaches level 12, the entire megacity is on high alert. The council knows someone breached the vault. They're searching, questioning, locking down sectors. But it's too late. Maya is already in the Shadow City and the genetic samples are safe. 84 people gather for the exodus. There are scientists who've been preparing for this moment their entire lives. Engineers who helped build the tunnel. Farmers who know how to grow food in difficult conditions. Teachers who want their children to see the sun. Families who are willing to risk everything for a chance at something more than survival. Maya joins them in the tunnel entrance. It's just a hole in the floor, surrounded by makeshift supports, lit by those same glowing bacteria that light level 12. Sarah stands at the entrance, checking each person as they climb down into the darkness. When it's Maya's turn, Sarah grips her hand tightly and whispers a thank you. The walk through the tunnel takes 2 days. It's dark and cramped and terrifying. Children carry small pots of bioluminescent plants to light the way, their tiny faces serious with the importance of their task. Elderly citizens lean on younger people, their determination stronger than their aging bodies. Everyone carries what they can: tools, seeds, medical supplies, solar panels, water purifiers. Everything they'll need to start over. Maya loses track of time in the darkness. Her legs ache. Her back hurts. The air in the tunnel is stale and difficult to breathe. Several times she thinks about turning back, but every time doubt creeps in, she remembers why she's doing this. She's carrying seeds that could bring back forests. She's walking toward a sky she's never seen. She's part of something that matters more than comfort or safety. Then finally she sees light ahead. Real light. Not the artificial glow of the megacity or the blue luminescence of bacteria. It's the soft purple-tinged light of dawn filtering down through the tunnel's exit. Maya climbs out into a world she doesn't recognize. The sky is violet at the edges, fading to a pale orange near the horizon. It's strange, but it's clearing. The air is thin and tastes metallic, but she can breathe it. Her lungs adjust after a few minutes. Around her, trees stand tall, but they're not like the trees in old photographs. Their bark is silver-colored and smooth, reflecting the strange light. Their leaves are crystalline, almost translucent, moving in a breeze that Maya feels on her face for the first time in her life. The sensation of wind is overwhelming. She starts crying, and she's not the only one. All around her, people are touching their faces, feeling the wind, looking up at the open sky with expressions of wonder and disbelief. In the distance, Maya can still see the megacity. It rises like an impossible mountain, piercing through the clouds, its lights twinkling even in daylight. From here, it looks small, even though she knows 800 million people still live inside it. It looks fragile, this tower that seemed so permanent from within. The settlement, which they've named New Beginning, sits in a valley between strange silver forests. There are 50 prefabricated structures, simple domes and rectangles made from materials the original 52 pioneers brought with them. People are working everywhere. Some are tending to small fields where crops are actually growing. The plants look weird, like hybrids between the old Earth species and whatever evolved to survive in the new atmosphere. But they're edible. Others are working on a water purification system, fed by a stream that runs through the valley. The water is clean enough to drink after filtering. The original pioneers greet the newcomers with cautious celebration. They've been alone for 3 months, wondering if anyone else would make it out. Now their population has nearly tripled. With the genetic samples Maya brought, they have real hope of restoring some of Earth's lost diversity. That first night, Maya sits outside under unfamiliar stars. The constellations are the same, but she's never seen them except in pictures and videos. They're more beautiful than she imagined. Someone starts a fire, real burning wood that creates smoke and warmth. Children who've never seen fire stare at it like it's magic. Maya opens her journal and begins to write. She spent her whole life recording the past, and now she's living something worth recording for the future. She writes about the tunnel, the climb to the surface, the first breath of outside air. She writes about the fear and hope mixed together in everyone's faces. She writes about a choice humanity is making to be more than just survivors in a tower. The megacity will continue. 800 million people can't just leave. Most will live their entire lives never knowing that this settlement exists. The council will try to suppress the truth, but Maya knows that information has a way of spreading. Eventually others will find out. Others will come. Humanity is learning again to spread out, to take risks, to choose possibility over certainty. As Maya looks at the megacity's distant lights, she doesn't feel anger toward the people who built it or the systems that kept everyone trapped inside. They did what they thought was necessary to survive. But she feels grateful that she found another way, that she's part of a small group remembering something older about human nature. Humans weren't meant to live in one place, stacked vertically, breathing recycled air. Humans were meant to spread like seeds on the wind, to adapt, to explore, to build new homes in unexpected places. For 1,000 years, humanity forgot this. Now sitting under strange stars with wind on her face and soil under her feet, Maya and 83 others are remembering. The work ahead will be hard. They'll struggle with food, with shelter, with adapting to an environment that's different from anything in the historical records. Some of them might not survive, but they're choosing to try, and that choice matters more than guaranteed safety ever could. Maya closes her journal and looks at the forest ahead. Tomorrow she'll help plant the first seeds from the genetic samples. Oak trees that haven't grown on Earth for 700 years. Flowers that existed only in frozen storage. A future that includes more than just survival. The megacity glows on the horizon behind her. New beginning spreads around her. And ahead in the strange, beautiful forest lies the work of rebuilding a world